Welcome to Ope, I Found a Weird Show. I'm Laura.
I'm Beans.
And I'm Lauren.
And we are continuing our recap of season 2 of the TV show From. And today we have episode 4, This Way Gone. And I feel like this one, the last episode, we kind of felt like it was not the same, right?
Typical.
It was like a little off.
Yeah.
From what we're used to, but I think this one goes back on track to the story we're used to seeing, which is nice because I want to know. I want to know what's happening. But we start this episode with a flashback to Kenny and his family at the clinic, and Christy is showing them around because Mr. Lou will be living there. He says he doesn't like it here and he wants to go home. Again, being in this place is awful, but being here with dementia is so much worse,
A
right?
sweet little old man.
Yeah, that's it's just sad. Like, that's gotta be so tough. And it's gotta be tough for everybody involved. So Kenny tells him, no, it's good. And there's a place for us. Look, there's a place for us to play chess, Dad. And Mr. Lou asks if they'll all stay together. And which is sad. Kenny explains to his dad that they will be right down the street, but we'll be here every day. But it's really important that he stays somewhere where he can't open the door at night.
Sweet baby.
I know. And Mr. Lou just wants to go home. He's like, I want to go home. Tien Chen tells him he's sick and just needs to get better. Then he'll go home. And he's well, I'll get better soon. And like, you can see Kenny in the background, like, you're not gonna get better.
Well, and I feel like this is also how it is talking in the non-demon land to someone with dementia who needs to go into memory care. And it's just like, yeah, when you get better, you can go home. But like everybody knows that that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So, and I feel like that would be Kenny's same reaction too.
Right.
Of like, oh, this is awful. Yeah. So Kenny goes outside to get the rest of the stuff and has a bit of a cry. And Boyd comes up to check on him. Kenny tells him, they had a bit of a scare. The monsters were knocking on the door, and Mr. Lou was convinced his brothers were outside. Tien Chen tried to stop him, but he pushed her. So they've been here a while at this point, and they did try living in the same house, but it wasn't safe because of the dementia and the monsters just whispering awful things. Why you gotta pick on the poor dementia guy? And Boyd says, in this place, there's not a lot holding it together. Everyone is scared and confused, but it always helps to have people to look to, people who seem like they know what the hell they're doing. And he asks Kenny to help him and be his deputy. And he says, someone to watch my 6. And then we go back to present day. Kenny is running down the street to find Boyd. He finds him and tells him, I got something to show you. We got to go now. And that thing is clearly Sarah, who he just found in the basement of the church. But que sera, sera. We are at the intro. So a nice little bit of Kenny backstory when things were not happier, but still
The
had.
sweet little old man was at least there.
Yeah. Oh, poor Kenny. And poor Tien Chen. Let's not forget our lovely favorite mom of the show. Back with the Matthews family, Tabitha is in the kitchen staring out the window. Julie comes up and asks if she wants some tea, and she asks her like, "Are you okay?" And just flat out says, "It happened again, didn't it?" Because she knows Tabitha told her about those visions of the children that she had, right? And Tabitha asks, Julie to watch Ethan for a minute because she needs to talk to Jim. And which again, like, stop treating her like a baby.
That was literally my comment. I was like, don't you treat her like a baby right now, because that's what pissed her off in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is like, that's the thing. You need to be more open. Like, I get that you want to protect, but we got to communicate around these parts. So Julie says, you can tell me. And Tabitha admits to seeing something again, but I'm fine. And Ethan comes downstairs and is so then she goes off and Ethan and Julie are still at the house and Ethan comes down the stairs and is talking to Julie when Jade comes in and you all loved this. Immediate cat shirt.
I ordered it on Etsy.
But Jade is not pleased to see them. He's like, "Are you people living here now?"
He's like, "I just wanna be with my new brother and my mom. Leave me alone."
Right? Why are these strangers in my house? And
Didn't he say
Ethan,
we already have 3
No,
stinky hippies
he got
he
rid
said,
of
from
"We
them.
just got rid of the
Oh, just
3
got rid
stinky
of
Yeah.
them. That's
Yeah,
right.
because Ethan says, "Our house collapsed."
Which, like, valid.
And Jade says, "Well, at least you had one. It's not my fault you broke it. We finally got rid of those 3 smelly hippies from the colony house, and now we got you people."
Yep. He
Uh,
just wants his space, guys. He's not
He
really
just
an
wants
introvert,
his
but he's acting
mama.
like one. He just wants his own little space.
yeah. Which, like, a little valid, but, like, there's not enough space for everybody in Demonland.
No, and it's so rich coming from him when he's out here stealing shit from everybody all the time.
Specifically, I'm still mad about the bike because that was one of the stinky hippies who came to stay with them was her.
He still hasn't given that bike back.
It's his now.
It's
Finders
his bike
keepers.
now.
So Julie asks Ethan, like, you wanna go see Victor? And they head out. Kenny and Boyd head down to the church basement and find Sarah. And Boyd asks Kenny to give them a minute. He needs to talk to her in private. Kenny is not pleased about this, but he does go. Kenny had handcuffed her because we love to handcuff Sarah in this show. Uh, but Boyd takes
It's
them off.
almost fetishized at this point.
Right? You're like, are we gonna put the handcuffs on? Are we gonna take the handcuffs off? What's happening with Sarah and these handcuffs? But she says she's glad that he's okay. And Boyd replies that's debatable. And he has about 1,000 questions for her. Like what happened to her after she pushed him in the tree? And she says that she followed right behind him and was brought to the church basement. Which, like, that was nice of the tree to send her
Right.
to the church basement and then point to, like, weird, non-existent well.
'Cause she does what the
Wormland.
voices ask. The
That's
tree's like,
true.
"Here you go. You can be safe."
Well, and then, like, so she's like, "This is what happened to me," and then, "What happened to you?" And he's like, "I don't wanna talk about it because 'cause I'm
Which
Boyd, and I
valid.
don't talk about this."
I
I'm
wouldn't wanna talk
refusing.
about it either if I had worms in my skin after it,
May
though.
Maybe in 57 episodes, I'll tell people about worms, but we'll see. Boyd asks her how she knew what the tree was. And she look, at least Sarah is open and honest. And she tells him, "Yeah, there was a little boy in white that told me." Um, and he told her that Nathan was right. They made this place angry, but they would be safe in the tree. And Boyd asks if the little boy is that like where the voices came from? And she's like, "No, no, no. This was different. I have multiple things talking to me." The little boy, she says the little boy seems trapped here like we are and wants to help but doesn't know how. And then Boyd's like, "I'm glad that you're back. But you being here is a shitstorm waiting to happen. And we have to figure out how to handle this." And Sarah straight up, she's like, "You know what has to happen. Like, she has to be put in the box." Even she's like, "Well, Boyd, put me in the box."
Right.
We
He's
know how Boyd feels about putting anybody in the box.
Boyd does not love it.
He doesn't care how many people you've killed or attempted to kill.
Nope.
Or how innocent they were.
The box was a
Ugh.
ploy. Yeah. The box was a ploy to keep everybody in line, but he never wanted to use it. He doesn't wanna talk about it because he doesn't wanna talk about nothing.
Really doesn't.
Yeah, and she says that he always knew it would end like this. There is no way she can live there again. And Boyd's like, "Sit tight. I'll go deal with
Got a
this."
plan. I can deal with it. It's fine.
Oh, Boyd. So he goes and leaves to go talk to Kenny. And, like, Kenny is is a good boy. Well, first, before she does that, so he starts to walk away, and Sarah calls him back, and she's like, "You didn't tell Kenny about the night at the clinic, did you?" And he's like, "Nope, I did not." Which Yeah. So Kenny is upstairs like a good boy, and he's not listening at the door like all three of us would have done.
Oh,
How
yeah.
dare you accuse me of something I would absolutely do?
In total fairness, I admitted to it while watching it. I'd be eavesdropping so hard.
Yeah, he's just
No, if it would occur to me to eavesdrop though, I would just be like, "Oh, he's just talking to her, trying to figure out, like, how she got there, like, listening to it from her instead of from me." I don't know that it would occur to me that there's something to eavesdrop on.
like, why can't I be there then? I would
Right.
That's
eavesdrop.
true. That is true.
Why
I
can't I
totally
be there
would.
if it's just a simple line of questioning of how did you get here?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You're
No,
you're
I
right.
want to know.
Yeah.
I would be suspicious. Kenny is a good boy. He is not suspicious. Kenny is
He's trusting.
trusting. So
He
very
believes in
trusting.
Boyd so
Yeah.
much. Just like if Boyd thinks this is the right thing to do, it has to be true.
It must be. Yeah.
Because Boyd would never do something to directly hurt me.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing.
Ugh. So Boyd comes up and he tells him that look, Sarah is uniquely connected to this place. Something here is communicating with her. Kenny is like, what? He's like, she hears voices. What? Like,
Okay.
What?
uh, and Boyd tells him about what happened with Sarah and Father Khatri, and that he found out that something was talking to her and using her. And Kenny's like a pawn, because chess. And
It
Boyd
always
ex-
comes back to chess with him.
it, it does. It does. Boyd explains that they can use that connection to find out what this place is, and Kenny asks if she's been down there since Father Khatri died, and Boyd admits that she went with him into the forest, and this clearly pisses Kenny off, and it should.
It's it
Rightfully so, though.
yeah. Like, what do you mean you lied to me and you've known this whole time that, like, she was here?
Yeah, yeah. Like, why would no? Why?
Like, you gotta Boyd Boyd is so annoying sometimes.
He is. He is. I like Boyd as a person, but I would. He annoys me.
Oh,
Uh,
he annoys me so much. The communication issues just alone drive me insane.
I appreciate his leadership and his ability to organize, but I'm gonna need him to communicate.
Right. It's like he decides what's okay and what's not okay in this town, and that's not okay, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's not. He is not right about everything. He does not get to decide unilaterally for everybody how things go down. Doesn't work that way.
Right, right. Even though, but that's how Boyd sees it.
That
Um,
is how Boyd sees it, which is why we would not get along.
no, that's why I'm gonna live in town, but I'm gonna be even closer friends with Donna. Uh, Boyd tells him that Sarah saved his life, and she is the only reason that he is here, and he knows she did bad things, but this place can make you think you're doing them for good reasons. Kenny's like, she killed her own brother and tried to kill a 9-year-old. Boyd's like, I know, like, I know. Kenny's like, do you? Because you lied to everyone. It says he knows what she did is unforgivable, but when she killed those people, Kenny's like, people? You're like just Nathan. And Boyd starts
Right?
stammering,
Right, Boyd?
The backpedal, though.
people?
More than one? Oh no.
And Boyd just starts stammering. He's like, yeah, no, 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 like almost with Ethan. You know what I'm talking about, right? And Kenny asks him what's gonna happen when everybody finds out. When Jim and Tabitha find out. And he's like, we will handle it.
That's always his answer. Like, it'll be handled. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We're all worried. Like that's all we got to do in Demon Land is worry. What do you mean don't
Mhm.
worry? So Kenny, again, she's dangerous and belongs in the box. Boyd, she isn't dangerous, not anymore. Kenny
How does
asks,
he know that? Like, even knowing everything that he knows, he cannot say she's not dangerous.
right. It is wishful thinking. So Kenny asks him if he would say this if it was Ellis that she almost killed. And Boyd's like, she's not going in the box.
Oh my god, Boyd.
The double standard. He says,
Mhm.
no one else is going into that fucking box.
And I think we can say that if it was Ellis, she'd be going in the box, or he would be dealing
Uh-huh.
with it a different way. He shot his own wife over Ellis, like, come on.
Yes, yes. That is the thing is, like, yes, there is a double standard here, and it
Yep.
sucks.
I I don't like it.
No. But Boyd, after this proclamation, he, like, gets a little dizzy and then says, like, "I need some air," and he walks out. Kenny is clearly frustrated, and Boyd, when he walks outside, he sees his little wormy buddies, and Kenny comes out to check on him, and Boyd collapses to the ground. So the worms say, "Don't get your heart rate up." See,
Yeah,
the
'cause
worms might be good.
he was
The worm
shouting, hooping, and hollering, he was pissed.
Yeah, the worms are just looking out for his health.
I don't know about that.
We haven't seen anything to the contrary, so
I mean, true.
So, back at Colony House with Julie and Ethan, Ethan takes off to go see Victor, and Julie slows down on the porch when she spots Elgin staring off. Ethan heads upstairs and Julie stays downstairs. She sees people cleaning up and still securing the house, and Fatima spots her and says hello. Julie congratulates her on her engagement, and Fatima asks her if she would be one of her bridesmaids.
cute.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet.
Everything's happy in Demon Land. There's a wedding.
Mhm. Yay.
She's like, "Yep, your bridesmaid." And Fatima tells her, "Well, Ellis doesn't want to wait. That they're getting married here." But again, she does not look excited, and
She
I don't.
looks less depressed about it than she did the last time it was brought up, but no, she's still not, like, super excited.
Yeah, yeah, and again, I don't know if that's because she's just in such a place where happy doesn't reach her right now.
Yeah.
And that very much could be it, or if she's just, like, a little exasperated, but I think she's just really worn down.
Mhm. I think so
Which, like,
too.
valid after everything they've been through just in these last couple of
No, she
episodes.
needs to move on right now.
Right, oh, yeah, she needs to get over it.
I mean, she wouldn't let other people write their lists.
Yeah,
She
she
needs to just
there's
go
no grieving
to
here. There's no grieving in
right.
Demonland.
She needs to go to the creek place, whatever they call it, and just go have fun.
Yeah, I almost called it the Brunnels.
The
The
Brundles, yeah, that's it.
Brundles, yeah.
I was gonna forget the D.
You can't forget the D.
I'll always have the D.
But they have, like, a cute little laugh, and then Julie says that she would be honored, and I gotta ask you guys, it feels almost like Julie is a little more grown up now than she
Julie
was
has
in previous
definitely
episodes.
matured a lot
Mhm.
since, like, the beginning of season 1.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I feel like ever since, like, there's been turning points of little growth where it's like, okay, after she went into a tree, there was
Mhm.
kind of a grow there. But I mean, like, she was very in her head and stuff, and she managed to work through that. But like now, I feel like she's really kind of taking a little bit of steps into that, and like really,
Yeah.
where before she was like, oh, I gotta watch my brother, and now she's like, yeah, let's go see your creepy best friend.
I I think that, like, she's been through so much fear and, like, real fear of losing her parents, especially just, like, with Jim being under the house, like, that was terrible for her to go through, and so, like, she's gone through different moments of just, like, having to face reality that have pushed her she's, like, still acts like a teenager from time to time, but, like,
Mhm.
I think out of the Matthews family, she's the best at communicating or at least asking the right questions. Cause like, she did even earlier on confront her mom about the divorce, and then not too long after that, like, once I think it was after Colony House had the massacre, where she just, like, flat out asked her mom, like, "Are you still getting a divorce?" And they had a very adult conversation about things that I don't think they would have aside from that, and she handled that really well. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think she's reacting better, like, not just going off the handle and being like, I'm leaving then," or like, "I wanna go live away from you guys." She's taking things in, actually listening, and being able to rationalize more.
Right. And I feel like in this specific conversation, like I don't know why I didn't spot it in conversations with her mom and stuff like that, but in this specific conversation, it felt more like she was talking to Fatima like an equal,
Yes.
as opposed to like a child,
Right.
which
I agree with that.
I'm excited for that growth. And Julie mentions Elgin, and Fatima says, "Yeah, he's having a rough time." And Julie offers to talk to him, which, because she understands. She had her own little rough time.
Mhm.
So upstairs, Victor is drawing in his room. Ethan knocks, and Victor lets him in with a, friendly, "What do you want?"
I'm
And
mad at you.
yeah, oh
Mad at
yeah,
you.
he's pissed.
He, like,
Uh,
straight up says, "I'm still mad at you." Like,
yes, and Ethan said, I was worried about you, and I'm happy that you're okay." Victor's like, "I'm not very happy to see you." And Ethan asks if he can come in, and uh,
his response, "Are you gonna steal anything again?"
yeah, he's like, "You gonna steal anything else?" And Victor's so passively aggressively pissed. This is why I love Victor. Like the passive aggressiveness here.
You know
Uh,
when he's mad at you, there's no guessing.
it's just like that. Like, I'm never gonna yell at you, but
But you
you're
can't play
gonna
I'm
with my
not
know.
toys right now.
happy.
And he's like, I told Jade not to take it. And Victor's, well, you should have said it louder.
Which I love
But
that. Say it louder.
yeah, because that's gonna work on Jade.
Yes,
Right. "Have you met
obviously.
Jade? Have you met me? Do you know who I am? That guy?"
So, but he does leave the door open, so Ethan comes in and he says, that his mom told him that Victor helped her out in the forest, and Victor's like, "She's a nice lady." And Ethan is lucky to have a mom like that.
Which is so sad.
Yeah,
I
cause
just got, like, a weird vibe about it, like, because we don't know a massive amount about Victor's mom,
right.
but, like, I get a feeling that maybe she wasn't so nice.
Or we do know that Victor was alone for a long time and
Mhm.
about Ethan's age when it happened. So it may be
Yeah.
either that
It
or
it
that
could
she
be.
it just, like, left at a really rough age for him or
That's
left
totally
it
possible
died.
too. That
If
she
she was
was that
there.
nice, and it was kinda one of those, like, "I miss my mom now," but it was a really sad vibe, and I was like, "Oh, sweet baby. I'd
Yeah.
hug you, but I feel like you'd throw a fit if I did."
I don't think Victor's a hugger. I'm gonna
I
be
I
I feel
kinda
like
get
he's
the
one of those
feeling he might
people.
not be.
No, I get the feeling that he's one of those people who would just go stiff as a board and, like, let you
Mhm.
hug him, but, like,
Yeah.
he would not, like, reciprocate that. He would just stand there, wait for it to be over, and then be like, "Grumble, grumble, walk away."
My goal would be to get Victor to like me. I'm like, "Victor, we can be friends, and, like, you'll let me hug you." It will never happen, but that would be my goal. I love a good unattainable goal.
Mhm.
So Ethan asks, "Hey, what are you drawing?" Um, and he tells him it's new stuff, the things that they saw. And Ethan asks where they went, and Victor's like, "You should go now, cause I'm pretty busy." And Ethan gives him some markers that he found in the storage closet and tells him that he's sorry that he made him mad before he leaves. These poor boys and their big emotions. There's a lot of big feelings happening that aren't being expressed here. And I do feel bad for Ethan because what was Ethan supposed to do?
Yeah. Let me just tell an adult louder, don't take that.
Yeah, he's a kid. He
Yeah.
doesn't have any power in anything.
But I think that Victor is just in as he feels, and this is how he expresses it. And
Mhm.
I do feel like with time, Victor will mellow.
I think so.
Um,
He seems very childlike, and it might be because of the age that all this happened to him, that he's not been able to mature in a way that the other adults around him have.
yeah, he definitely has some social skills lacking. That very much probably have had to do with. I mean, he was literally Ethan's age,
Mhm.
where everybody else died, and he he said he was there alone for a long time. So, like, those are
Mhm.
the years that you develop those social skills. So, yeah, poor Victor. But out on the porch, Julie goes to talk to Elgin, and he asks about her dad and asks if she's been there a while. And Julie says, not long, but it feels like a lifetime. And she's, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. To somebody who has been through it, I got you. But Ethan comes out and he's clearly upset. He says, I wanna go home." And he just starts walking. He's like, "This was not a suggestion. I'm walking. We're going home." And she's like, "Guess that's my cue." And she heads off after him. Back in town at the sheriff's office, Christy is giving Boyd a checkup. So she's like pushing on his hands and like they're talking about his Parkinson's stuff and the shakes. And he asks her, and she's like, "You're looking good." And he asks her about spider bites because he got bit in the forest. And she's checking them out and she's like, "Oh, these are fine." But then she sees the huge gash on his arm. She's like, "Were you gonna mention this?" And he covers it up right away. And he's like, "Oh, it's nothing. I scratched that on a tree branch." And she's like, yes, she's exasperated. She's like, "Well, it doesn't look infected." And again, tell the lady who could help you.
I also just like how she, like, checked out the spider bites and wasn't just like, "These are huge. How big were these spiders?" Because I would've looked at them and been like, "Where did you meet these spiders? Because I don't wanna go there."
Yeah, spider bites. No, we need more details even just on that. You can give us that. So she asks him about his Parkinson's symptoms. Other than the shakes, are there any muscle stiffness, vision impairment, depression? And he looks at her and he says, "Everyone here is depressed." And truthfully, I'm gonna be so honest. If somebody there wasn't depressed, I'm gonna be suspicious of that person.
Literally, though.
Right? Like, why are you happy? Why Fatima, why are you happy?
She's
But
got
she's
the
not
weed.
anymore. Maybe that's
That
the
might be the
answer.
problem.
Is
She
it the problem or is it the
I mean,
solution?
well, no, 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 I mean, it's the problem because like, maybe she ain't had any recently.
Oh, they did have a lot of crops issues with the
Mhm.
storm. So,
They did say half the crops were gone.
it's true. Hopefully not the weed ones. I mean, granted, it would probably be better for the supplies of the people. But
I hope that the weed is in the greenhouse and therefore it was safe.
I hope
true,
so.
true.
I have a
So
feeling that's where it was, but shit, I don't know what happened to that greenhouse. A
true,
lot of shit
true.
happened that night.
Yeah.
So he Boyd brings up that his father at the end, like, things started to really mess with his head and mess with his mind. He's kind of trying to justify the things that he's been through recently. 'Cause he's like, "No, cognitive impairment doesn't happen that early in Parkinson's, if at all." And she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "I'm fine." In like the most unbelievable way. Boyd is like, "That's just get like a sticker with that on, and just like a pin, just point to it. I'm
Right.
fine. I'm
He
fine."
says that a lot, and it's also just kind of like a, "Don't worry about it. Don't don't ask any further questions. I was just curious. No worries."
Yeah. "You seem suspicious, sir. I am concerned."
Yeah, there's something going on.
So Christy tells him he needs to rest at least and not put extra stress on his body. But Boy just like straight up laughs. And she's getting a little annoyed. And he's like, "The thought of anyone here avoiding putting extra stress on anything." And she gets, she gives a little laugh too. And then he goes to stand up and he gets dizzy again. So again, the wormies probably not great, but they don't show up. They've so far, the wormies have only showed up for him to see. Though there might have been that moment where Victor saw. We are not sure if Victor saw at the truck. But like, are does Boyd think the wormies are in his head too, and that's why he's not telling anyone? Because he thinks he's just flat out crazy at this point, or it's all he's in a coma and it's a thing that he's just making up. So
Also, like, if he's worried that the worms are in his head, couldn't he just be like, "Hey, do you see this?" When
yeah,
they're going? "Are these real?"
100%. I mean, just talk to somebody.
Just pick a buddy that can be your mental health buddy where they assure you if you're going crazy or not.
Not
Yeah, I
Kenny.
would. No, I would have one. I think Boyd needs to. As much as Christy annoys me sometimes, I think Boyd should pick Christy for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna yet. If ever again, if he ever tells anybody anything that's ever happened to him in entire existence, uh, so other than I'm fine. Uh,
Mhm.
at the at the diner, Kenny is picking up some food, and Tian Chen tells him he should sit because he's working too hard. Kenny's like, "Oh, the food isn't for me. It's for someone else. It's for Boyd, who isn't feeling well." And she's like, "You both work too hard, and I don't like it." And then she asks him about Christy and if he's okay, and he says, "I knew she was engaged, and I just want her to be happy." And
Good guy.
yeah, and like Kenny's the best guy, and Tian Chen is best mom.
Right. She raised him well.
Yeah.
We know he's like this because he had good
Oh,
parents.
absolutely. So at the bar, the bus driver is having a drink when Jade comes in. He slam
Best scene with Jade.
Yeah, it was really good. He slams the door and says, "There is literally no place in this town I can be alone." And then he kind of like recognizes her as the bus driver, and he actually apologizes and says, "It's been a long day, just stay as long as you want." And she starts talking, so he goes and sits, like, at a table behind her, and she starts talking about Elgin begging her to turn around and that she didn't listen. And Jade asks a very important question. Did this happen before or after she saw the tree? And she says
Hmm.
after. Because that's important, like, once you see the tree, and Jade says, "Oh, well, then you were already screwed." Once you see the tree, that's when everything, and makes a raspberry noise.
He's
Jade.
just very logical about this. Like, I wonder what his response would have been if she said that it was before the tree.
I think he would have asked her 10 million questions and then went to go hunt down Elgin.
I think he would have just been like, "Oh yeah, then it is your problem, like your fault. Bye."
"Ooh, that is your fault. Let me go find that guy who had the dream before he got here."
Yes.
So he tells her not to spend too much time kicking herself for that part. She feels guilty and responsible for the people on the bus, though. And Jade asks her if does your pity party come with music? Or, will you be serving finger sandwiches?
And he makes this little like hand motion with the finger sandwiches, like he's holding like a little tea sandwich. I'm like, "Oh, Jade, I
Yeah.
love you."
Yeah, it was so good. I'm like, I wanna steal. I wanna steal that. It's
I do
so
too.
Mhm.
good.
It's so legendary.
But he's like, "It's not your fault." And that if she wants to feel like shit, fine, but feel like shit because your life is fucked. Don't don't carry around guilt thinking you've ruined anyone else's. Besides, they were riding a bus. Their lives couldn't have been that good to begin with.
Jade, Jade, Jade.
And then she is just cold to that. Like she gives him a look and and then he's like, "I'm sorry." He does say sorry. He has apologized a lot more. I will give him that.
Yeah. We've said he's growing in the sense that he's recognizing when he's an asshole, and that's the first step. You gotta
Yes.
recognize you got a problem.
Knowing is half the battle.
Mhm.
But she does start to laugh. So like it did what it was supposed to do. So good job, Jade. And she tells him, she's like, "I wasn't even supposed to be driving that day." She took that job to pay for her degree, and she finally paid off her tuition about a month before. And she only stayed on a few weeks to have a little money to treat herself with a little trip. She
Which good
deserves,
for her. That sounds like a
right?
great idea.
Yeah. Unless you end up in Demon Land. But
Yes, but like
she could have
without the
ended
whole
up
Demon Land
there.
thing, great
Yeah.
idea.
She could have ended up there without the bus. I mean,
True.
who knows? Like, maybe she was always destined to come here.
Yeah.
Um, ugh. But yeah, she's like, "I deserve a little reward." And then she's like, "Is this what I deserve?" And Jade tells her, like, "I just sold my company right before I got here, and I finally achieved the one thing I've been working on my whole life." And he raises his glass to her and says, "To getting what we deserve."
Mhm.
I love Jade. These
Me
moments,
too.
half the time I'm like, "You annoy the piss out of me." But then he has these moments and I'm like, "I'm back on board. I'm back with you,
Right.
Jade."
Ugh, he's genuinely my favorite character right now. Um, but the whole thing about like getting what we deserve or just like having these moments of achievement right before seeing the tree, like that's happened for a few people now. Because both of these two had accomplished like a big life achievement selling the company getting her degree, and then we know that Boyd had just retired, so,
Mhm.
like, that's a pretty big thing, and I know it's not universal that, like, people have big achievements and then see the tree, because who was it that said Tabby didn't achieve her divorce, which would
Yes,
have been
yes, that's
Corvée.
our friend Corbet.
oh gosh, that was
Um,
so funny.
yeah,
Um,
yes.
But
yeah,
that's when
and,
I
like, we know
theorize
that
that it might
Kenny
just
and
be moments of high emotion.
yeah, and it could be.
Yes, yes, or it could be that, or it could be, like, these people are destined no matter what to come here.
Could be. Yeah, because we
They're
also know some people are at their lows, like Father Khatri about to commit suicide and then changing like, hearing that voice saying that he had a different path.
yeah.
So
And I know, like, Kenny and his family had just found Mr. Liu in the city, so they were all kind of resolved to, like, "We're gonna do this better. We're gonna,
mhm.
really protect our father," and then, they get here. And then Sarah and Nathan was going to pick Sarah up from her bad relationship situation, and then they
Maybe
were
it
going home.
maybe it could be second chances. Like and
Mm,
I don't know that it's necessarily perfect for each one of these scenarios, but, like, selling your company, now you're basically he said he's finished the one thing he wanted in his life. So, like, now he's moving on to the second part of his life, like, he needs to figure that out still, but, like, you could see that as a second chance or, like, a second chapter, something like that.
yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah, that is a Yeah, because we just don't know why. And, like, you know what would really suck, though? If, like, there was one person on this bus. Like, so say it's the bus driver who
Mhm.
has who is the person who, like, triggers the tree, and everybody else
Gets screwed over
gets
because of
screwed
it.
over.
Well, they needed the numbers, so
Yeah, yeah, that's one way to get your numbers, bring in a bus.
yeah.
Telling you, it's a numbers game.
Yeah,
I agree with you, though, I think it is a numbers game.
Yeah,
I do
Demons
too.
can't hunt people if there are no people to hunt.
Yeah.
exactly.
Something has to be triggering people coming in,
They
and
gotta restock the livestock.
Victor said
Oh.
that they hadn't had many people come in for a while, but they also hadn't had those deaths for, like, 3 months.
Right.
So, it very well could be a numbers game. Uh, Tabitha walks into the clinic to check on Jim, and he isn't in bed because he's bad at listening to the doctor's orders.
Mhm.
She goes to look for him, and she finds Mary in the medicine cabinet, and Mary tells her that Jim left a little while ago. And so she goes out and finds him standing at the bus next to their fallen down house. And he's looking at the people over there organizing the supplies. And she tells him, you should be resting. And he tells her, we need to talk. And they walk a little bit away from the bus and, like, go stand next to their collapsed house. Uh and he said, I laid down there all night thinking I was going to die and asking myself why the road led them here. And back at the bus, we hear Randall telling them that they can't take the things from the bus because it doesn't belong to them. And, like, this is the stuff. So, like, everybody who survived the bus already got their stuff. So this is the stuff from the people who died. And
I just wanna ask Randall, like, what do you want to happen to that stuff then? Do you just want it to sit there unused? And, like, what happens when you run out of clothes? Like, it gets worn down. Are you just not gonna take any more clothes because you didn't buy it in the real world? Like, what's your plan?
well, and
No, not a
like
naked Motown man.
And, like, so I feel most bad for the bus driver in that situation too, because all those people on the bus had, like, some sort of luggage. She is working a job. She doesn't have any extra clothes. She only has what she's wearing. So, like, she has to kind of scavenge unless she's going to dress like a bus driver all the time. What's she going to do
Yeah.
on laundry day? So, but Tian tells him, go. And he listens because no one messes with her. But he does storm off and he calls them vultures. Uh,
Do
Jim,
love that everybody, like, even the newest people to town, just, like, don't talk back to Tianchen.
she has an
She's
aura.
got straight fucking mom energy. You've heard of Chad aura? I'm going to now introduce you to Tian Chen aura, and even Chads fear her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Jim asks if Tabitha knew Christy's fiance was on the bus. Again, that small town gossip. Because she did not. She was like, ooh, what? And Jim brings up the wires and how it's not possible. And she's like, no. And he's like, no, no, no. I believe you. But he equates it to when they build a roller coaster. They design them to do the impossible because the more impossible it seems, the stronger the reaction you get from the people riding it. What if all of this was designed just to see how they react? What if this is an experiment? And then he tells her about the radio. And then it works. And she's like, why are people just standing here then? And Jim tells her, like, they don't know because it was right as the storm was coming in. And he tells her, I heard a man that warned or threatened me. And it's why he actually came running back to the house. Like the voice knew his name and said that she shouldn't be digging. And just like that, the house collapsed. And she's like, do you think somebody is watching us? And he says, all he knows is someone got on the other end of that radio and talked to him. She's like, did anybody else hear this? And like part of that question was like, are you crazy too? Or
Mhm.
like, is there proof more than just you? Uh, because she's also seeing things and thinks she's crazy. So like fair. But also, like, kind of, I think triggers him to go, oh, yeah, Donna did.
For
So,
Donna.
yeah, Donna keeps getting in the situations with the people. So, back with Boyd at the sheriff's station, he comes out of the bathroom and Father Khatri is sitting playing chess at the desk.
I'm just happy to see him. I don't care if he's real or not.
So, we were all shook, though. The look on Boyd's face was all of us. We're like,
It literally matched what I said because he walked out. I saw Katre. I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And then Boyd, like, almost, like, did an office look at the camera thing, like, and that was his expression was, "I'm sorry, what?"
yes. Well, and Father Khatri's like, it's your move, and your options don't look great. Father Khatri's kind of a jerk. Granted, Father Khatri, like, laid it out straight, but, like, this Father Khatri is a little sassier. And Boyd is shook. And he's like, this isn't real. You're not here. Father Khatri asks if that's the part he wants to focus on. What is real and what isn't? And Boyd kind of is like, I got a mystery boy sending people through trees in the forest. My hands aren't shaking, but now I got worms under my skin. So yeah, maybe that's what we should be talking about. I'm glad, like, he had to get that off his chest. He's like, I've been wanting to tell people, but I can't because I gotta tell them that I'm fine. And Father Khatri says, or we can talk about what's really on your mind. How are you going to tell Kenny that Sarah killed his dad? Boyd's like, she didn't kill him. Father Khatri, she opened the door. Potato, potato. He's like, Kenny isn't going to be interested in the minutia of what happened. But what benefit is there in Kenny knowing that Boyd lied to him and betrayed him? And Boyd's like, I did not. But Father Khatri, like, is not letting up. He's like, you didn't tell Kenny. You spared Sarah's life and you gave her your trust and friendship. Boyd's like, this was all your idea. He's like, it's poor form to blame the dead. This Father Khatri is full of sass. Boyd says, Kenny will understand. He did, I did what I had to do, and Sarah was and still is valuable. Father Khatri says, yeah, she's still valuable, which is why you need to keep your fucking mouth shut. And telling Kenny won't help anything, but relieve the burden of Boyd's guilt. And Boyd tells him that somehow him being dead made him more of an asshole. I agree. He's a little harsh. Granted, Father Khatri was pretty sassy in real life too. Uh, but Father Khatri tells him that leaders have to make tough decisions, and if he wants to be everyone's friend, go be the new bartender. Apparently, there's a vacancy. Rough.
Rude.
Poor Tom.
Tom deserves better.
Yes. But he says, but if you want to lead these people home, sometimes you have to make a shitty decision. And Boyd's like, I'm not going to lie to him. Father Khatri asks him, Uh, what was that thing that Ellis said about the thing everyone holds on to? That's what Boyd is to Kenny. You are the father Kenny no longer has, and broken people don't survive here. That was rough. I was glad to see Father Khatri, though.
Mhm.
But, like, damn. But, like, to me, that is not the place talking to Boyd. That is Boyd having, like, a discussion with himself using a Father Kadri stand-in to play the devil's advocate for him. Like, that's what that felt like to me. Because 'Cause we've had visions and things like that, but this didn't feel like that to me. What did you guys think?
I I feel like it's the
Sorry,
other
that was a lot
side
of
of
silence.
him. Yeah, no, it was a lot of science, a lot of processing, really. I really don't feel like this is actually Father Khatri. I feel like this is his conscience finding a way to manifest the things that he knows he needs to do, and Father Khatri always kind of represented that for him. The hard way, the things that he needs to do to be a good leader, the hard decisions. And I feel like that he represented that for Boyd. I feel like that was someone he looked up to. So I don't think that this is necessarily Father Khatri reborn or anything like that, or reanimated, but rather a hallucination likely caused from the worms. But I feel like this is more of a he almost feels guilty as well about Father Khatri, so this is more of like the guilt side of his conscience coming forward and being like, you need to do the hard things.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm
So
pretty sure that's what was asked. I'm so sorry.
yeah, you're fine. You
There
guys
was
have
just like
just,
a
like,
weird
been
moment of
listening to me drone
silence.
on.
Well, like, there was like a weird moment
Well,
of
I
silence, and
didn't
my
know how to
brain was
answer.
like, "My God, talk."
It's
No,
okay.
I straight up didn't have an answer, so I was just like, "Someone else can take this one."
And then someone else's beans. Uh,
Yeah.
I do it.
so back at Colony House, Jim is trying to talk to Donna but she's like, "It's not a good time." And he's like, "I want to talk about how we're going to handle the radio thing." And she's just giving him these looks like, "Sir?" And she pulls him into another room, into the kitchen area, because she doesn't want people to hear it. And I'm gonna steal this too. She says, "I'm gonna put this as delicately as possible." How fucking stupid are you? Oh, this has been a great episode for just like
Sass.
sass.
Yeah.
And he's like, you did you hear the thing on the radio?" She's like, "I heard some spooky motherfucker warning you about your wife 20 minutes before your house collapsed." And Jim says, "That means there are people out there who can see us." And Donna asks him, "What part of the is a good sign? Does he n- know what happened here before he ran off? The lights exploded, someone almost got blinded. If there are really people out there watching them, they sure as shit aren't helping them. So what'll they do if they think that we know about them?" And that's assuming it was actually a person on the end of that line, which I think this is a very valid point. There are things that walk and talk just like them until they walk up to you and rip your fucking guts out. She's not
Donna
saying
was
to
spitting
ignore it.
facts because,
She was. Mhm.
I was whole on the optimistic board there with, Mr. Delulu over there. I couldn't remember his name for a second, and I still can't, but that's okay. Well, that's his new
Jim.
name, Mr. Delulu. I was whole on board with that, even though it was sus, and he was like, "Your wife shouldn't be digging that hole." I was a little sus about that, but then I'm like, maybe this is a good person though, and they're trying to help. But then Donna was over there spitting facts, and I'm like, "Oh, she might be fucking right." Oh.
Mm.
Oh, I never thought that voice was a good thing. It was so threatening.
It was,
It was
yeah, to
very
me, like, he's like
menacing, but ooh.
it warned me or it threatened me. I don't know. I'm like, "It was a threat. It was a threat."
Like, that was not a warning whatsoever. That was this is the fuck around and find, or this is the find out stage of fuck around. Like,
I was
that's what I
ready
got
to
from
be
that voice.
optimistic though, cause man, these people ain't got
Oof.
shit going for them.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah.
optimistic about that at all.
No, I'm fully with Donna. I'm like, "I don't trust anything that nope, I don't trust
I'm
nothing."
I'll say I'm 2% optimistic about that phone call being good.
Yeah. That's fair.
One of us has to
You
be
gotta
the
have a
Lulu.
little.
I'll be it.
So,
With me and
there
my
you go.
weather theories, I'll be the Lulu with Mr. Delulu.
So she's not saying ignore it, but he already got people's hopes up with the tower. He started it in excuse me. He starts in all the more reasons and she cuts him off to keep their fucking mouths shut until they know more.
This actually brings up a question for me of, like, all of these people did not hear the voice on the other line or side of the radio, whatever. They don't know that it somewhat worked. Are any of them like, "Hey, why don't we go rebuild that tower now that the weather's cleared up?" Like, has no one asked about continuing this project?
I do think like this I agree. I feel like more people should be asking, but I think between the bus showing up, them having to dig Jim out of a house,
Right, there's a lot of
um,
distractions going
and
on.
this is I think literally like the next day, right? Or like a couple days.
I would say it's a few days,
Yeah, because the next day
cause like
was the bar in the lady's head.
yeah, and Jim's out of the hospital for the most part, and
Yeah. Oh my god. I forgot one thing that Bean said that was really, really funny when we were watching the episode. So when Donna comes into the kitchen and Beans is like, "Why is Jim?" I didn't like. I was wondering why he was walking so slow, and then I see him limping in, and I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah,
you're
you got
hurt.
messed up,
Yeah, you're hurt. I can't tell because of how fast you scuttled your way up to Colony House to harass Donna.
right?" Probably took him hours. He's gonna have to sleep there tonight because there's no way he's getting back before dark.
God,
Yeah,
that would
let's.
make Donna's day, like,
Oh,
"Sweet, Jim's staying with us."
yeah, no. No, thank you. Um, so, Jim's like, "Hey, what actually happened to the radio?" And she tells him it's in the back, but it got busted up by the storm. And Donna tells him not to do anything until she tells him. But they like get cut off because Randall is yelling in the other room. And Randall is beating the shit out of some guy who was in his bag.
So rude.
And I know, like that was a very, very violent reaction.
I
Um,
wanna know what's in your
Can
bag,
understand
sir.
not wanting people in but, like, he's probably just like, "There's somebody touching my shit." Like, even if there's nothing bad in his bag, which we don't know, but, like,
I'm sus.
he is still, like, brand new to this place, has not had a good impression from anybody, and is just, like, stressed, probably tired, hasn't been sleeping well, I would assume. Who sleeps well in Demon Land? And just people keep taking or, like, trying to take his stuff. Like, he just lost his gun, he's got no way, like, besides his fists, apparently, to, like, protect himself or his property, and Colony House just has this free-for-all mentality. Like, I can understand being pissed. Not beating the shit out of somebody, but, like, being
yeah,
pissed, yeah, I can understand.
yeah,
Because
because
I
like
wouldn't want people in my stuff, like, that's your last piece of home.
I agree. I would struggle with the colony house way of
Yeah,
communal
I
living.
Beat
couldn't
the
deal with
shit
that. I
out
don't
of
like people
somebody,
touching my
though.
shit. No, that's why I said, like, I can understand being mad, but not beating the shit out of
Yeah.
someone. Nobody's condoning that.
And he fully like threw him down on the ground and then kicked him in the stomach.
And it
Like,
kinda looked like when he threw him down that, like, he hit his head on the table behind him.
yeah. Like this was not okay.
No.
And Donna comes in and she tells him, uh, if this is gonna work, but like Randall cuts her off, he's like, enough. If this only works if he stays out of my shit. And Donna says, we have a way of doing things here. Randall says, he has a way of doing things too. You touch my stuff, I will smack the fucking shit out of you. And then he storms off.
Big Detroit
So,
energy.
yeah, he's your side of the state. uh, yeah, no. Randall is so aggressive. Like occasionally again, bright lights from him a little bit, like a little bit of I can see half of your point. But then you immediately jump to the far end of it.
Yep.
Angry,
You jump
angry,
to the
angry.
violence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just if you could just reel that in. If we could get
Mhm.
so we need a welcome committee a guest book, and some anger management classes.
I think we said in the beginning that we need a therapist for this
We
town.
did. Yes, we do need a therapist. Now we don't even have a priest. Yeah, like we
Oh,
need some.
yeah. Is there someone we can call to request people or
Yeah. Can we get a therapist? I'm going to take that before the priest. We've just recently had a priest. It would be nice to have a therapist. So back in the church basement, Kenny is with Sarah. Um he lied to his mom about the food cuz it was for her. Kenny, don't lie to your mom. And Kenny asks her
Naughty.
about saving Boyd's life. I know. Disappointed.
We don't lie to
And
Tien
she says,
Chen,
"No, we do not. There are rules to Demon Land, and the first one is do not lie to Tien Chen. Don't mess
or
with
you'll get
Tien
hit with a
Chen. She's the
whisk.
best." Yeah, that is one of my favorite things. Is just Jade getting hit upside the head with a whisk. So she's like, "It's hard to explain." And Kenny brings up the voices, and she's, that's why she tried to kill Ethan and ended up killing Nathan. How does a voice in your head convince you to do something like that? She's like, "You don't understand." And he's like, Help me understand, because I want to believe that Boyd is right about you, but people are going to freak out when they find out."
Which
And
valid.
right. And he's like, "It doesn't just hurt you, but it hurts Boyd, and he can't let that happen because Kenny is ride or die for Boyd at this point."
Mhm.
And he tells her, "I always thought of you as a friend, and my mom always adored you like the daughter she never had." Ooh.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah. And he's like, "Convince me. Convince me that you don't deserve to go in the box." I can't, And do you think I want this? Boyd gave me a chance that I don't deserve. And I'm grateful and glad, that I could help, but she can't go back and she can't undo the things that have already been done. And Kenny
That
says,
sweet old
we
man.
yeah. Yeah, she's like, dude, you don't even
Leave me
know."
be. You don't understand.
And Kenny's like, we can help make people understand. This town is hard on everyone, and you thought that you had found a way to help. It was horrible and unforgivable, but if, we can make people understand." And she's like, "Stop. There's something I got to tell you." She's like, "You're about to not understand anything cuz you're going to be so mad at me."
I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
she
good
couldn't
on
sh
her, though.
well, I
Yeah.
think it was also, like, the guilt of, like, him
Mhm.
going on and on about how she deserved to be heard out and saved when she knows that she's done way worse that he's just not aware of.
Right.
Right.
But I will say good on her because, like, I get that, like, some of it was guilt, but that could not have been easy to admit to.
No,
No.
absolutely, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
No. Yeah, Sarah is in her still a villain, but like redemption arc, but she's got to go through like to
A
have
lot.
true redemption.
She gotta go
All
through
of the
her
truth has to be
trials.
laid out. Yep. Yep. So, she is no longer that bitch Sarah, but
She
it's
still
going to
kinda
be a
is.
rough road. She is a little bit, but she's going to have a rough road ahead of her. Whether it's a road straight to the box or a road to redemption, we shall see. Uh Back at Colony House, Fatima comes into the kitchen where Donna is, and Donna's just like processing things like, ugh. And Fatima says that she heard about the fight, and he'll come around. Randall will come around. Donna's like, no,
Really, though?
I know his type. And Fatima's like, well, maybe we should change the rules a little bit. Ease up on communal sharing. Donna says, maybe we should just give him a whole wing of the goddamn house. And which a little extreme, but I
But
get her point.
I get why she's like that, because if you bend the rules for one, you need to bend the rules for all.
And
Right.
Randall is the kind of guy that you give him an inch, he's gonna take a mile.
Mhm.
No, I'm 100% on Donna's
So
side. I get where Fatima was coming from, like, "Hey, let's maybe we can do a little bit of a compromise, make this a little ea" I get where she's coming from, but I 100% support Donna's very dramatic response.
yes, yes, which I love. So Fatima's like, "That's not what I mean." And Donna's like, "Fuck this." And she goes and gets that axe again from the pantry. She loves that axe. And Fatima's like, whoa. And she said, I'm gonna go have a chat with him. And she finds him like sleeping and laying on the couch. And she tells him, get up and get your shit. You know, he doesn't like the rules here. He can live somewhere else. And
Mhm.
he's like, get the fuck out of here. And she takes that axe and she takes a chunk out of the wall above him.
Well, in
Right
total
above
fairness,
him.
he was giving her snip. Like, "Nah,
Yeah,
I ain't
no, he was like,
moving.
get the fuck out of
Nah,
here.
you
Yeah.
moving today, motherfucker.
She's like, I'm gonna let you know I'm serious.
This is
Like,
my
I
fucking
mean
house. You get
business.
out."
So Randall is listening now. He gets up,
I
he
would
gets his
too.
stuff, and she walks him. Yeah, me too. I'm listening to Donna. I'm listening to Donna without an axe, but I'm
Right?
definitely listening to Donna with an axe. So she takes him into town, and the bus driver is moving the bus out from in front of the diner, and they walk up, and she says, you know, she doesn't want people staring at it while they're eating, and then she walks off, and Donna looks at Randall, and she says, welcome to your new home. And, you know, Randall walks in. There is still a ton of blood on the floor. And she gives him the talisman from the Matthews house. So they did get that back. We talked about what, like, they should probably be looking for that talisman. Uh, and she says you need to keep it hanging on the window and make sure it stays there. Um, and he's like, "Are you done swinging your dick around? You made your point." And she's like, "No, she doesn't think she has. You don't want anyone looking through your shit, fine. But I'll be motherfucked if I let you hurt any more of my people." And he shrugs.
Mhm.
And
Get it, girl.
she's like, yeah, I love Donna in this one. She's like, no, I'm not swinging this dick around, and it's a hell of a lot bigger than yours, motherfucker. Uh,
Mhm.
and she's like, you just don't get what's happening here. After everything he's seen, he still cannot process the fact that this is actually real. But seeing as he doesn't strike her as the brightest fucking bulb, she's gonna bet it's gonna take him longer than most. So now he gets to live here, no shades on the window, and see everything that's happening. There is no way out. Quick question. What do you guys think about the bus as a living option?
We talked about this. That would be
Yeah,
that could be so great because like, it does have a bathroom in it, so it's not like you've gotta leave to go to the bathroom if you need to. Like, it doesn't have a kitchen, but that's what the diner's for. I I think you could pimp that out. Take out Rose and, like, obviously clean up the blood from that couple that died in there, but, like, you could make that into a really nice space.
I'm
And it
going.
is exactly what he asked for because he doesn't like people touching his shit. He doesn't seem to want to be in the community mindset, so, like, I don't know why he was pushing back on it.
No, I'm going full schooly on this thing. We are pimping out the bus. Like,
Right.
Mhm.
it's going to
I'm
be
here for
great.
it.
I've got ideas. Yeah, no, I love this. I mean, and it's not like you can't get blankets and things to cover the windows.
Yeah,
Like,
just
you
give me
can
Right.
get
something to
stuff to
help me
cover the
secure the
windows.
door to make sure nobody getting in, like, easily. You gave me a talisman, that
Block
was
that
real
thing every
sweet of
night.
you. Yeah. Yeah, ooh, that's a
I
good
my
idea.
only complaint Yeah, my only complaint with this whole setup is that he doesn't deserve to have a talisman to himself.
Right?
Like, why are they wasting a
Yeah,
talisman on this piece of
that's
shit?
that's
Yeah.
a fair thought.
But I would take the bus. I think the bus is great. I'm gonna have to whose house am I showering in? But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, that's
What
my
about the
only
shower?
question. I got a
Uh,
bathroom. Now, here's the thing with the bathroom, though. You've got a bathroom, but do you? Because
Yeah,
oh, he's got one that he
true.
deserves.
that doesn't drain. That doesn't, like, go into plumbing. So, like,
He'll figure it out. That's his job to figure out.
yeah. So I'm like, "Yeah, that isn't an emergency bathroom. Nobody better come in my bus and shit in my emergency bathroom."
Could you imagine if just for, like, petty sake, whenever he's gone, people just come in and use his bathrooms? Like, it's like a "fuck
Take
you."
take a big dump.
It's revenge bathroom use.
Revenge poop.
Nice. I
That's a
like
real
it.
thing. That is
Yep.
a real thing, revenge
Yeah.
pooping.
Yep.
Yeah. So Boyd is walking through town towards the church, and Tilly comes up to him and she asks him about his adventures. I love Tilly. Um
Mhm.
and he's like, "Oh, yeah, excuse me though, cuz I'm looking for Kenny." And she's like, "Oh, I just saw him headed towards the clinic." And Kenny is in the clinic looking at the place where he found his dead father. So Sarah
I
clearly
wonder
told him.
if Boyd had that, like, head of your stomach drop out moment where you know you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
I feel like
Oh,
he should.
absolutely. He should. He deserves it. He should have
Mhm.
told
Mhm.
Kenny already. So Boyd comes up, and Kenny says before they came here, he doesn't think he remembers seeing his mom cry. He would see her mad, stubborn, frustrated, but now she cries every single night because she is convinced it was her fault because she wasn't there at the clinic that night to keep his dad from getting out of the basement to open the door and let the things in. But he didn't open the door, did he? And Boyd says no. And you can tell, like, to me, this looked like Kenny didn't have, like, he was still trying to believe that Boyd didn't know this.
Mhm.
And this is his confirmation. And he's a little shook and he says, "You knew." And Boyd says he found out the night before he left. And Kenny goes to walk away, but Boyd tries to stop him. And he's like, "Don't touch me." Which, fair.
Like, valid,
He's
though.
been betrayed. Like, this is a huge betrayal.
Yeah. And Boyd says, I was going to tell you. And Kenny's like,
When? You
"When?"
liar.
Yeah. And Boyd doesn't answer that. But it's like, when? When were you going to do it? No, you weren't. Or you were going to do it when you were forced to.
Right. And the longer you keep a lie like that going, the worse the fallout is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Kenny's like, "She's going in the box." Boyd's like, "No." He's like, "She's going in the fucking box. She killed my dad. They tore him to pieces. And Boyd knew." And Kenny takes his badge off and he throws it on the ground. And Kenny tells him he can watch his own fucking six and walks out, which is like a wonderful tie back to the first scene where he's like, "I need somebody to watch my six."
Mhm.
Kenny's like,
But
"Not
you didn't
me
watch
anymore,
his.
motherfucker." Right?
Right. It's a two-way street, Boyd, and you're not doing much of like anything to respect the people around you and watch out
Hey,
for them.
you
So
didn't watch
why should
Kenny's.
any of them do that for you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You not only didn't watch his six, but like you just straight up stabbed him in the back.
Yeah, you actively
Yeah.
blinded him from it. Mm-mm.
Right. You and consciously made the decision to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I didn't know until she told me yesterday when I talked to her. I didn't know. I knew the whole time, and I think that's what Kenny was really testing. How long did you know?
Right.
Because if he would have just found out, he'd be like, "I just found out that your dad wasn't the one that
Didn't know
opened
how
the
to tell
door,
you.
and I didn't know how to tell
Yeah.
you." That, I think, would have received
I've known for
so
weeks.
much better of a reception, but
Yeah.
no, he knew.
He knew and then went on a quest with her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He could have gone on that quest with Kenny, but no, he went on with the murderer of Kenny's father.
Yeah. Because Kenny needed to stay back and be strong and be the sheriff and you got to take over for me. Yeah, it's Boyd, it feels if I was Kenny, I would feel like Boyd has been blowing so much smoke up my ass.
Right. And
Mhm.
I cannot wait to see Kenny's villain arc if that is what we see.
Too.
Or if Kenny is just like hands off, like this is not my problem anymore. You deal with it. Like about the town. Because I
Mhm.
could see it
I'm
going
here
like
for
one of
either.
two ways of like I am also here for either. I can't
Mhm.
wait. But like he could totally see this as like I'm going to be a leader who is just like opposing you and like, you know, trying to take over the town, show them that Boyd is not the right one to lead and like, hey, I don't need to be your deputy, but I can still lead the people in a way that you're not fulfilling. Or he can just be
Mhm.
like, I'm going to go hang out and just like not have any responsibilities anymore because no one seems to give a shit anymore anyway.
So what we're
Yeah.
saying is
Maybe he'll
Kenny for
just join
president
Jade.
2026?
He's like, "Hey, well, he's
Yes?
like, let me look at the people who don't like Boyd right now. Hey, Randall, I know you just held a
No,
gun to my
not
head."
Randall. No, not Randall.
"Hey,
Not Randall.
Jade, you're my brother. So
Yes.
Boy
you
I
can
band?
want
join with
him and
me."
Jade boy band. I did say that. I said I want him and Jade to form a boy band. They can do I I don't know.
You
I
could
I
take
just need to
Randall.
see it.
He could be the rough around the edges lead singer.
No, I
No.
reject that. No,
No.
thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Randall
Poor
can go stay in
Randall.
his bus.
Well, that's
In
where lead
Not
Boyd's
poor
singers
Randall.
stay.
Fuck Randall.
God, in boy bands, which one was it? Oh, it's been so long. Like, Randall's the AJ?
Oh gosh.
The
Is
rough
that
around
Backstreet
the
Boys?
I
edges,
think so. Yeah, yeah.
the bad boy.
Uh, yeah, no. Randall doesn't need to be a part of this. I'm sorry. I want to love the boys in this boy band, and that would be Kenny and Jade right now,
So
because Tom died.
I really feel like okay,
Oh,
so like I feel
Tom.
like yes,
Tom would have been part of that.
Randall's a dick, but I see potential in him. I feel
There's
like
potential.
once he gets his head out of his ass, just like Jade, I see Jade potential in him. Maybe not as smart.
Don't
Don't
compare
get me
him to my
wrong.
boy Jade.
Uh-uh. No, no. Hear me out. Jade's smart as fuck, and we love the shit out of him. I don't see him being as smart as Jade. Nobody's as smart as Jade. He's the smartest man in the room, remember? But I
And he'll
feel
tell
like
Easily.
you.
he brings some shit to the table. There's a reason why that man had a whole ass rifle on a bus. Okay, like I feel like he
Yeah,
brings something to the table. He's a dick, but I feel like he brings it to the
I
table. I
agree with
feel like
that.
he'll come around.
There's potential for him, but don't you dare compare him to Jade again, otherwise we can't be friends.
So, I think
That's my boy.
yeah, like,
Don't
hard line in the
don't
sand.
do that.
Clearly.
Jade, I even whenever Jade was an asshole, I still loved him.
Yeah,
You know what? Don't care.
I
Still,
didn't.
Russell,
I
no.
like Russell more than I like Jim. Hot take.
Well, you can compare Russell and Jim all you want, or Randall, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh shit,
That's
is his name? Oh my
fine,
god,
because
have I
they're
been called?
both
What
annoying.
is his name? Is he Randall or
Randall.
Russell? What have I been calling him?
It's
You know what?
Randall. Remember, he's the bad guy
Our
from,
man, our
Monsters,
man.
Inc.?
Monsters Inc.
Yep, our man. I'm just gonna call him our man now. My our man, my Motown our
Yeah,
man.
that's what.
I was calling him
See,
something else
when you
too.
when you call him our man, it sounds like you're saying OUR, and he's not my man. Jade's my
Mm,
man.
fair,
That's that.
But
fair,
I
fair,
do I
fair.
do see where you're coming from, Beans. That, like, cause I think we've all said, like, there's moments where, like, we agree. We see where
Yes,
he's headed. We see, like, why he would be upset about this thing. But his problem is that
He's
his
got an
anger
explosive temper. If he
management
could get
skills.
that shit under
Yeah.
wraps, though, I'm seeing good
if there was a
chief
therapist that could work
security
with him,
office
Yeah.
enforcer
yeah,
Absolutely.
maybe.
Like, he could be really beneficial. He could be if he could pull his head out of his ass. The problem is, I still think that he hasn't wrapped his head fully around the situation.
Yeah, I
look,
think
if
Donna's
he
right
can
about
get
him.
his head out of his
Headla, go ahead.
I was gonna say if he could get his head out of his ass, then he can be the security guard for the boy band, but he cannot be in the boy band.
Oh, okay. This is fair. I
Still not
accept
allowed.
this. I accept this. But I do think
But
Donna is
yes.
right about him. He hasn't fully grasped that this is real. This is a problem, and he needs to see it. And I
Yeah.
think this
But
is a good course of
and
action for him.
yeah, this bus is perfect because he kept saying, like, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. Now, he's seen a bunch of dead bodies, but he
Mhm.
didn't see that happen. So, like, I could see where you could possibly be in your head and be like, well, it's not what I like. They're telling me one thing, but I'm never going to believe them if I don't see exactly how it happened. So like this
Mhm.
could potentially give him that option. So, yeah, you wanted to see some shit. You got a
I
million
hope
windows.
I hope to see some character growth with him. I hope that we do see the growth that we see in Jade because Jade is just a phenomenal character now. And I do hope that he gets half the growth that man had. I hope he doesn't just suck the whole way through.
You know what we haven't seen yet is a Jade and Randall interaction.
Probably for the best.
Like those two, yeah, but
Don't
like
you
I just
hurt
want
my
to
boy
see.
Jade because then you're done. I don't care. Give me my talisman back. You don't deserve this. Jade is a peach and you will not bruise him.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't think anyone can bruise Jade except for like Tian
Physically,
Chen
That
and the
yeah,
moms there.
that's
Well,
yeah,
yeah, physically.
no, Tian Chen
I
can
feel
do it
like
because
Jade would hurt Randall's.
I feel like he'd hurt Randall's feelings and Randall would hurt his face. And you can't touch my boy Jade or give me that talisman back.
I do think that Randall will not find Jade funny, and that is the true crime. That is why we should exile Randall
It's
into the
true.
forest.
Jade is hilarious.
Any last thoughts about where things are going or anything at all? All right. Are you guys ready to watch the next episode?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, thank you everybody for listening to Ope, I Found a Weird Show, and we cannot wait to continue the recap next time. Bye.
Hi.